about you, but to me, there is nothing worse than taking your wife out for a romantic dinner on a rainy evening, only to get your arms soaked when they hand your order out through the window to you. What you need is a collapsible roof that attaches to the outside of your vehicle and then expands over to the drive-through window, like one of those NASA docking stations. Except this one won't be used for some useless science project. Okay, now what are we going to use for our collapsible umbilical docking station? I believe I have just the thing. I'm going to use the bellows off this accordion. I'm not a big fan of accordion music. To me, the only difference between an accordion and a trampoline is that you take your shoes off to jump on a trampoline. If there are any music lovers out there, you're welcome. Actually, it's not a great week to be up at the lodge. Harold has been promoting us as tourist-friendly. And now he's rented the whole place out for the weekend to these tree-hugging naturalists. I mean, it's some kind of a corporate thing. They're sending all their senior people or something. So now I figure I got two choices. I can either hang around here and apologize for everything I've ever done and am going to do, which is just like being at home, or I can go fishing. And I've made my decision.
Uncle Red, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? It's so nice. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Beautiful day.
Something's wrong, isn't it, Harold?
Wrong? No, why does something have to be wrong? It is a beautiful day. Beautiful day.
You messed up, didn't you?
Messed up? How did I mess up?
Oh, no, you messed up.
I didn't mess up. You're gonna get $500 for the use of the lodge this weekend. If that's messing up, then maybe I should just mess up more often.
Okay, so everything's good. We're gonna get paid, because this is an inconvenience, Harold.
It's not an inconvenience. It's business. Yeah, see, the lodge had to find some way to start generating funds, so this is what we're gonna do. An inconvenience. Being foreclosed on and you going to jail, that's an inconvenience.
So everything's good?
Everything's good.
Everything's perfect?
Everything's good.
I knew it. You messed up, didn't you?
It was a typo. It was just a typo. That's all.
Huh?
Well, okay, well, I was under the impression that these guests were senior naturalists.
Yeah?
I was wrong. Turns out they're senior naturists.
What the heck does that mean?
Well,
It's time for the Possum Lodge word game. Today's winner receives a weekend pass at the Bigamist Arms Hotel, including the honeymoon suite and a bed that sleeps 7. Okay, Dalton, cover your ears. Red, you've got 30 seconds to get Dalton to say this word. Love. Love.
Yeah, all right, Winston.
and go.
Okay, Dalton, this is something that you should feel when you think of your wife.
Fear. Guilt.
No.
Regret.
No, Dalton, this is something positive. Okay, never mind about that, all right. You see a young couple kissing under the streetlight. You say, they're in...
Heat.
Almost out of time, Red.
Yeah, all right, listen. Okay, Dalton, what is the point of Valentine's Day?
Oh, I'm with you 100% there, Red.
I think this is too tough. Do you want to just quit?
I'd love to.
There we go.
If yours is the stinkiest house on the road and neighbors fear your lawn may explode, me and my truck will grace your abode. I may arrive empty-handed, but I'll sure leave with a load.
You know, I'm not very smart when it comes to history or mathematics or physics or chemistry or botany or zoology or languages or calculus or home ec. But I'll tell you one thing. I know how cars work. Unless they're like new cars or diesel or metric or some stupid thing. But for example, I know that this is a supercharger. Right, good. Well, that was lucky. Now, a supercharger is basically a high-speed air pump that makes an engine work better by ramming the fuel through it. Okay, I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on television. But it seems to me that the human body is very similar to an automobile. You got your intake manifold, you got your carburetor, you got your engine, and you got your whole exhaust system. And just like an automobile, it's built for both power and entertainment. Okay, but just like a car, once a guy gets a few miles on him, he starts to have some problems. That's because over time, the quantity and types of material that are going in here far exceed the quantity and types of material that are coming out here. This creates a surplus in this area, which causes a high blood pressure situation up in here. Now, the doctors are going to give you all kinds of treatments for high blood pressure. They want you to take pills, they want you to exercise, they want you to lose weight. Let's be serious. No, we need a better way. And I'm thinking supercharger. Because if a supercharger can help a car engine by moving fuel faster, it should be able to help a human engine by moving blood faster. Just give me a few minutes to hook this up and I'll show you how it works. By the way, this isn't real blood, it's cream soda. And this isn't a real person. It's a civil servant. Okay, I got all my tubes hooked up to the supercharger, and I mounted a high-speed cordless drill on there to drive the unit, attached the whole thing together using the handyman's secret weapon, duct tape. I don't think people will even notice it. Of course, now, you don't want the thing running all the time. It's just for emergencies. When your blood pressure hits a spike, you know, like when you're opening a letter from the government or maybe a friend's husband comes home early. So what I did was I attached a switch to this blood pressure reader thing, and that hooks up to the drill to drive the thing, and then as soon as the blood pressure gets up to, say, heart attack range, the supercharger comes on. Now, it's not going to lower your blood pressure, but it takes the load off your heart because the supercharger is doing most of the work. I don't really see a downside here. So remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Oh, I had a thought last week, and I want to share it with you before it slips away. You know, when I was in high school, the parents and the teachers always liked the kids who were self-confident and self-assured. You know the ones I mean? The ones that would talk to your mom and dad like they were their buddies. You know? Or they'd phone over to your house, and if you weren't there, they'd have a conversation with whoever answered the phone. Parents always like kids who have those kinds of people skills. My mom would say, boy, that Brian is such a nice kid. He's so outgoing. And employers felt the same way. These outgoing kids became outgoing adults. They got great jobs, and they did real well, became leaders of their community, and good for them. Oh, yeah. They made a contribution to society, and they were rewarded for it. And now would someone please tell them to knock it off? At my age, I don't want to be around anybody that outgoing. I'd much rather spend time with my friend Ed, who hardly ever says anything. And when he does, it's always something important. Stuff like, that's a cop. These days, I just don't want anybody outgoing bugging me with their good mood. I'm old and something probably hurts. I'm well aware I'm in the last third of my life, and to be honest with you, I want the time to drag. So put a sock in it, Brian. I'm going fishing with Ed. Remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.
You just got home and there's a new dent in the car.
A dent your wife put there.
Yeah. You're just about to go right off the deep end.
But be careful. A lot of guys are drowned, underestimating just how deep the deep end is.
Yeah, we know you've never put a dent in that car.
Other people have, like that idiot who tore your door off when you left it open to go in and buy milk.
Or when you got rear-ended because that goof never noticed you'd stopped on the highway to pick up what you thought was a dime.
Or when your engine seized up because none of your friends reminded you to check the oil.
You know you take better care of the car than your wife does.
But there's no point in getting all bent out of shape about a little dent and then have a head-on collision at home.
No, don't be the one who's trapped in your vehicle.
You may have a big mouth, but it's not the jaws of life.
No. No, you just smile and say, that's okay, honey.
We know you still love your car.
Just not enough to sleep in it.
Okay, I'm trying to do the right thing here. I mean, Harold put a lot of work into marketing the lodge to these old nudists, and it didn't really mean any harm, you know. And plus, $500, well, that's good money. So, I mean, I've only got one more day to go. I believe I'll get through this. I'll just keep looking at the floor and thinking about baseball.
Mr. Green, I need to talk to you.
Yeah, okay, now just take it easy, Mike, all right?
I didn't mean to look.
All right.
I didn't want to look.
I understand.
These people are like my grandparents.
I know.
They shouldn't be naked.
No.
They should be sitting on a porch somewhere whittling.
Yeah, all right, but, Mike, it's only one more day, all right?
You didn't see what I saw.
Lawn bowling?
Worse.
What?
Trampoline.
Uncle Red, we got a problem.
What do you mean we got a problem?
Well, it's about the $500, so... Seems our guests feel we're not embracing the nudist lifestyle quite enough. So tomorrow at noon, they're going to present the $500 check to a lodge representative.
All right.
But that lodge representative has to be naked.
Buck naked?
$500 naked. I think they want you to go.
I think we're not going to get paid. Except for driving the wagon, and I noticed the sheriff's car in kind of a problem. Looked like he had run her up on a hump there, and she was kind of stuck. I was looking for the sheriff inside, but it wasn't the sheriff.
Oh.
It was Mike. So all the more reason to get her down. I got a shovel in the wagon, but Mike had another idea. He has a different approach to most things in life. I don't totally understand the kind of logic that Mike uses here, but anyway, I like having a wagon. You can get a lot of stuff into a wagon. You're pretty much ready for anything. You never know when a sing-song might spring up, and there we go. There's a shovel. All right, then get back there. And fair enough, since Mike had gotten into the problem, he was more than willing to actually do the work, which I appreciated until he broke the shovel and then the mirror. But of course, Mike always has another idea, so what he figured he'd do is he took the chain out of the trunk there and he went from the back axle of the cop car and wrapped her around the back axle of the wagon. And he said, don't worry, what could possibly go wrong? All right, no, that's good. That's good. Now we definitely have to get the cop car off the hump. So Mike says there's a concrete block there. If I could stick the concrete block, wedge her under the wheel, give him some traction, and then he would throw her into reverse, and I might just hump it right off there. So I'll give her a go, and he revs her up, pops her into reverse, and it did catch for a second. And into the ravine. Okay, Mike, now what? Well, Mike figures we still got the chain between the two sets of rear ends, so why don't we put the wheels up in there? That'll shoot the wheels back, and then the chain will pull the unit off the hump. And I was really too tired to think of anything else, so but this time Mike didn't get into the vehicle, which ultimately was a great idea. They kicked off there, pulled her off, and away. But she's heading for the ravine, Mike. Perhaps we should, do you think we should? Yes, let's do that. No, she hit a tree. No, we're good. Okay. Everything's fine, officer. Nothing to see here.
Welcome
to the experts portion of the show where we address those three little words that men find so hard to say. I don't know. Excellent. And joining Red today is a lodge member and local antique, Mr. Dalton Humphrey.
That's antique dealer.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, today's letter reads as follows. Dear experts, recently I bought one of those home barber kits for my family. It works really well and we all had a lot of fun with it. My question is, can you recommend a style of hat that my whole family could wear for the next month or two?
Yeah, okay. I mean, hats can be smart looking, and this guy needs something to make him look smart at this point, I would say.
Well, we've got a fine selection of hats at Humphrey's Everything store. You know, even though I personally don't wear hats.
Oh, you'd have to go with an onion bag.
You know, I recommend the hard hat. That way you can combine style with safety.
Now, see, okay, now I have a problem with that. See, I don't think people should wear hats that they don't honestly use in their daily life. Now, a hard hat, well, that's fine for you, Winston, because there's a reason for that, you know. I mean, you either use it in your work or you got a soft head or something like that. But that guy in the Village People, I don't think so.
So you're saying don't wear a cowboy hat if you're not a cowboy?
Well, exactly. If you're out there driving cattle or mending fences, fine. But eating baked beans is not enough.
Okay, but, well, what about a beret?
Same deal with a beret. If you wear a beret, you better either be part of a special military strike force or on your way to a poetry reading. And if you're both, well, you got some serious decisions to make about where your life is going.
See, that's a military hat you're wearing, isn't it, Red?
Oh,
Yeah, how many years was it that you served again, Red?
hey, I've been married 35 years. I served every one of them.
No, that's not an official military assignment. That's more of a volunteer civilian position.
Well, okay, but I've had this hat a long time, all right? It's called a field maneuvers cap. I got this in my dating years, and I had a few field maneuvers, believe me.
Too bad you never saw active service.
I'll tell you the main problem with doorbells. They're too darn close to the house. You don't get time to get yourself ready to answer the door. This was made very clear to me last week. I was on my way into the shower, and I was dressed appropriately for that assignment. Suddenly, my doorbell rings. I assume it's one of the guys, so I don't have time to get dressed anyway, and I just answer the door al fresco. Of course, it's not one of the guys. It's an older lady collecting money for the Heart Attack and Stroke Foundation. She took one look at me, and I believe she had one of each. So I need something to give me more time to prepare for my visitors. So I'm moving the doorbell from the door over here to the driveway. Now I just need some kind of triggering device. Anyone who's ever driven a car knows that a pop can emits a weird kind of gravity to any driver. You can't see a pop can without driving over it. So what I'm gonna do is attach one wire to the tab, and then the other one, I got a lead sinker on there. I'm gonna drop that down inside the hole, and I got a wad of the handyman's secret weapon to stop the sinker from hitting the bottom of the can. But listen to what happens when the can moves. Okay? But talk is cheap. Let's have a demonstration. Better yet, let's have a cheap demonstration.
Come on, Uncle Red. If you want to see any of that money, you better get those clothes off.
Carol, can you imagine somebody just tuning in right now? What would they think?
No! Well, do you want to see any of that $500 or not?
Oh, Harold, just a sec. I have some pride here, eh? It's hard to put a price tag on that.
Oh, come on, $30 tops. Come on.
Just a minute here, Harold. What the nudist said was that they would pay a representative of the lodge as long as he was naked. It doesn't have to be me.
You're not going to send the dog, are you?
No. It's all taken care of, Harold. Come on in here, Mike.
good feeling about this?
Well, he's not exactly naked.
Well, I gotta wear this. I'm a non-swimmer.
Hey, they're the ones who picked the main dock to do this. Safety takes precedence over exhibitionism, Harold. Come on, Mike. I'll hold the door for you.
You're a very brave man, Mike.
Thank you, Harold. Well, here goes nothing.
Oh, good, it's meeting time.
Yeah. You go ahead, Harold.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be down in a minute. Okay, my wife is watching. I'll be coming straight home from the meeting, and actually, I saved you the embarrassment of showing the whole world what you have to look at every night. Well, okay, maybe not every night, but hopefully tonight. And to the rest of you, thanks for watching. On behalf of myself and the whole gang up here at Possum Lodge, keep your stick on the ice.
All rise!
Quando, Omni, Flunkus, Moritati. Sit down. All right, bow your heads for the men's prayer. I'm a man, but I can change if I have to, I guess. You want to sit down?